Today, my wife's beautiful Model 3 is going to get some upgrades. We're going to upgrade the factory wheels to some 20-inch black spoke wheels, and we'll show you those in a moment. We're going to add some of the caliper covers. Okay, so to remove this wheel, it's just got a center cap, and you can't really pull on it like this because you'll probably break these off. So you just get a little pick tool and they make a hole there. You stick it in there, get up behind it, and you pull at the same time and it comes right out. And it's just this spring-loaded plastic snap. Just this spring-loaded plastic snap holds it in place. So we're putting our leverage. We're not using, you know, if you pull on these, you're going to break it off. So we're pulling from here and from here to peel it out. So then we'll pop the lug nuts off, take the wheel off. Okay, so we have our wheels off. We're ready to install our caliper covers. These are really very simple. They're going to basically just sit over top of the caliper like that. So the first thing we're going to do is identify the rear calipers and the front calipers. And it's pretty obvious because they pretty much fit the exact shape of the caliper. Like if you look at this, it doesn't fit. This one fits right on, and these arms are right on the caliper bracket. So that's where these are going to go. So now we identified which one is those. You'll also get these clips, and there's front clips and rear clips because the calipers are different. And this is all that really holds these on. It's all that's really needed to hold these on. And these snap onto the caliper bracket. And I accidentally marked this already without the video on, so I'll just do it again. And what I did was I just laid this up, and then I visually laid this where I wanted it to go. You don't want it to be in too far or in too close. You could tap them in and out, but I did this, then I moved it out of the way, and by finger pressure I snapped it into place, and then I just took my marker and marked it, just so I knew where to put it back. But you don't really need to mark it. You can just do that. And I did the bottom one the same way. Once they're on, I test fit them again, make sure it's nice and tight. There is a clearance on these, and you may want to use a feeler gauge. I'm going through the first set of instructions now, and I'm going to install these, and I'm going to drive it, see if there's any noise or anything. There's nothing touching. There's nothing moving that's touching, so I don't believe there's going to be any noise or anything rattling. But follow the instructions. It tells you where to use the feeler gauge and how to check that if you get any kind of noise. Then we just have these two nuts that go on. It's a 3/8 nut, but 10 millimeter. 10 millimeter is about the same. Okay, so once you install these, the distance from this caliper cover to the caliper needs to be that thin. So you can use a feeler gauge, or they do include this piece of paper. And all you're going to do is slide it up in between here, and you can see it. Make sure that it's got enough of a gap all the way up. And it does. It's pretty much perfect. If it's not, you can just tap this. Just tap it lightly with a hammer, tap here, and you'll slide the clip, top or bottom, over. And then once you're done, you'll snug it down. So pretty much the same. You don't want to come out too far, or you're going to hit the inside of the wheel. You don't want to be all the way against the caliper, because calipers do get hot, and it'll transfer the heat to this, and it might discolor it. So it might, I don't know, it might discolor them anyway, but at least this is away from the caliper. There's a little bit of air there, so the heat can release. And now I'm going to snug this down. Now we put the wheel on. I'm going to snug these lugs down. I am not torquing them down. This is an impact gun. It's battery powered, but I'm just going to snug these down. You always would use a torque stick on this, or a torque wrench. A torque stick is another way, but a torque wrench would always be done on any car nowadays.